As the movie starts, Gray, Trace and Asha, a couple, are seen living in a tech-controlled house in the near future. He's a mechanic and she works for a tech firm called Cobalt. Gray brings Asha to a hidden location to see his client Iran Keen. Iran shows Gray and Asha STEM, a cutting-edge chip that could revolutionize science and medicine. Later in their self-driving car, Gray and Asha try to get passionate on the way home. Since it looks to be hacked, the car detours through Gray's old neighborhood. The pair is hurt when the car crashes near a junkyard. 4 goons headed by Fisk pull them out, while Fisk shoots Asha and another goon shoots his spine. As they leave, Asha slowly dies while Gray talks to her. Now Gray is handicapped. After staying in the hospital for a long time, his mother Pamela helps him adjust. Gray meets Detective Cortez, who is investigating the men who attacked him and killed Asha. The police are using drone footage from the crime scene to identify the perpetrators, but they have no leads. Iran visits Gray and offers to implant STEM in his back so he can walk again. Gray doesn't like it until Iran mentions Asha wants him to see walk again. Gray completes the treatment and signs a confidential agreement to keep STEM a secret. He recovers motor skills and walks again. He comes home without telling Pamela about the breakthrough. A voice soon speaks to Gray. It turns out to be STEM. Gray panics until STEM calms him and offers help. STEM shows Gray additional focused photographs of the criminals from the drone footage. Gray discovers Fisk shooting Asha with a hand-implanted gun. Gray tries to contact Cortez, but STEM tells him that the footage he saw through STEM won't help in catching the goons. STEM uses a wrist tattoo to find Cirque's address, who is one of the goons. Gray breaks into Cirque's home while STEM tells Gray to read Cirque's computer table messages, which mentions multiple times about a bar, Gray's old neighborhood called Old Dog. Cirque returns home and finds Gray soon. He assaults Gray until he gives STEM full power. Gray dodges Cirque's assaults and hits him precisely. Gray kills Cirque by cutting his head from mouth to ears with a knife. After killing the man, Gray vomits. STEM then helps Gray clean up the crime scene to erase his presence. Iran meets Gray after watching STEM's activity. He knows Gray killed Cirque, but Gray denies saying STEM ever talked to him. Iran forbids Gray from pursuing others. Cortez watches more drone footage after Cirque's morgue examination and sees Gray pass in his wheelchair. She visits him to ask what he was doing there, and Gray returning in the wheelchair lies despite knowing he can use his disability as an alibi. Wheelchair-bound Gray visits Old Dog. He then asks everyone in the bar whether anyone connected to his wife's murder could come forward. One person named Tolan comes forward and admits he was there. After wheeling Gray to a back room, he and 2 other goons try to hurt him until STEM takes control and lets Gray beat them up. Tolan is pinned down and knifed until he says Fisk's name. STEM informs Gray that Iran is trying to physically shut him down, making him immobile again. Gray is given an address to locate Jamie, a hacker who can reboot him. Gray abandons his wheelchair to sprint for Jamie. After Gray escapes, Fisk finds Tolan's body at the bar. Memory footage from Tolan's eye shows Gray reciting STEM's speech. For letting Tolan die, Fisk presses the bartender. The bartender grabs a revolver, but Fisk sneezes and shoots microbots up his nose to slowly kill him. Gray finds the hacker's place as he loses motor skills. Jamie reboots Gray using a code STEM taught him to write on his arm. After seeing Fisk and Jeffries on the security cameras, Jamie and her hacking friends depart before STEM reboots. Jeffries and Fisk discover Gray, and STEM returns. Gray confronts the 2 criminals, and Jeffries tries to kill him with his handgun, but Gray grabs his wrist and blows his brains out. Gray walks home in Pamela's view. He tells her the truth but wants her to keep it confidential. Cortez visits the residence to ask additional inquiries, since she saw his wheelchair outside Old Dog. Gray claims he followed someone but ended up in a fight with the person. After Cortez leaves, Gray searches for Fisk but finds her car following him. STEM informs she bugged his jacket. Gray loses Cortez following a chase, crashing into another car. Gray battles Fisk at his home. Fisk says he was recruited to ambush only him, but Asha was a bonus. After discovering Cirque was his brother, Gray brags about killing Fisk. When he is unguarded, Gray kills him with glass in his head by making him fall. He snatches Fisk's phone and hears Iran's message ordering him to find Gray. Gray confronts Iran in his lab, assuming he tried to cripple him to test STEM. Cortez stops Gray from shooting Iran by telling him to put down the gun. Iran then admits that he is not behind the murder plot but STEM always controlled him. STEM became too smart and wanted Gray's body, so he coerced Iran into coordinating everything, even hacking Gray's car to arrange the accident. Gray stabs his hand to avoid injuring others, but STEM controls his body and mind to stab Iran in the skull. While Cortez is unconscious, he points a gun at her. Gray shouts "I'm in charge" and shoots himself in the neck to kill STEM. Gray awakens in hospital. To his astonishment, Asha is there, glad to see him awake. He seems as if he had awoken from a coma after the car accident. However, this is fake. Gray's thinking ability has broken down, allowing Stem to dominate his body and mind, trapping him in a delusion of being with Asha again. After showing his control to Cortez, Stem kills her and leaves. This marks the end of the movie, and thanks for watching.